David Wygant here, 10-minute daily reality check. Today, as we near Thanksgiving. Wow. Turkey time. I see the decorations up. I see the Mercedes commercials. That's what I want. I want a Mercedes with Santa driving it. I love this time of year. The Lexus with the bow, that must work because I've never ever seen a Lexus with a bow in a driveway. But I got to tell you something. I'm starting to think people are really fucking lost. There was a TV show called Land of the Lost in the 70s. It was Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. It was the greatest earthquake ever known. It was a movie, too, with Will Ferrell, I think in 2001 or 2002. He did a remake on it. Anyway, Marshall, Will, and Holly found something called slee stacks and pacoonies, and they never knew if they were going to get back, and it was really campy and ridiculous. It was I think it was Sid and Marty Krofft who also did H.R. Puffin stuff and some of the other campy stuff in the 60s and 70s. But I'm starting to think that people in the world of dating and meeting, you're all fucking so lost. It amazes me how fucking confused everybody is nowadays. Shall we swipe for dates? What do we mean? How do we swipe? How do we meet? What do we say? How often should we text? When should we text? When should we text next? They texted me 2 days ago. Do I need to text them back right away? She texted me right away. Do I need to text her right away? I need to make myself look available. I need to make myself look unavailable. The men need to chase. The women need to feel a guy that, has got a lot of things going on. Should I make myself look like I'm busy? Should I make myself look like I'm not busy? Should I do this? Holy shit, you're all just mentally masturbating 24/7. Jerking yourself off with the weirdest fucking thoughts. It's unbelievable. We have overanalyzed everything. We're living in a paralysis by analysis culture right now when it comes down to dating and meeting people. And it's just getting worse. The other day I was listening in on a couple of audios that were sent to me by a friend of mine who was trying to get my opinion on what he was doing right and what he was doing wrong. And I realized what he was doing right. Nothing. He was doing everything wrong because he was thinking about what he was doing right. There is no right or wrong thing to fucking say. We're human beings having human experiences on this planet for the very, very first time in the bodies that we have been determined or given to us by spirit, soul, God, universe, or whatever the fuck you believe in. And we're so worried 24/7 about what we need to say to somebody or how to make an impression. Or men walk around and they wonder how to sexually escalate with a woman they just met outside Whole Foods. Yeah, that's what you need to be doing, is talking dirty to her outside of Whole Foods. She's going to fucking call the police. I literally see people in bars and restaurants on a Friday night literally swiping for love instead of looking around. People take Uber pools, and instead of talking to the person on Uber pool, they actually go and try to find that person on Tinder and Bumble. I stole that line from Brian Howie. Brian Howie runs a great love debate. I did that the other night in Los Angeles. And you know what? People were all so confused about what to do. Shall I let the man pick me up? Shall I not let the man pick me up? We need to now go and meet in a restaurant. One woman says, I would never let a man pick me up. That's crazy. And she looked at me and said, well, I don't want him to know where I live. But yet, years ago, we used to get drunk, write phone numbers on matchbook covers, and have somebody pick us up at our apartment or our house. But now we have the internet, and now we Google everybody, and we look around, and we think that everybody's crazy, and we think the whole world is after us, and everybody's so fucked up. It's gotten really confusing out there, and it's just getting worse. So what is a man or a woman to do in this situation? Well, you could just go with the status quo and be like the paranoid motherfuckers that are running around. You could be one of them. You can have the stories that LA, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Des Moines, London, Paris, worst city in the world to date, all of them. You can come up with the stories of no men over the age of 50 want a fucking woman that's over the age of 50. You can have that story. There are no normal people out there. Yeah, you're the only normal person left in the single planet. You can continue to swipe and pretend to be busy and, well, not ever take a chance on anybody, or you can just create your own rules. And that is what I think all of you should do. Create what works for you. Create your own rules when it comes down to dating. How do you want to show up? Are you going to listen to the status quo? Are you going to think that your city is bad? Or you live in a rural town and there's nobody around you? Are you going to think that all men ghost? Are you going to ghost other people? I mean, there's just so many terms that are out there. It's crazy. When in reality, all of us just want to meet somebody. That's why we're here. We're here to love. We're here to find somebody. We're here to procreate, have a family, whatever your definition of family is. We're here to literally go and find somebody amazing to spend eternity with, at least a year with. Holy shit. Can you at least make a year? Right now, I want you to think, what was your longest relationship over the last 5 years? Think about it, because mine was 6 months. And you're probably thinking right now, whoa, wait a second. David Wygant teaches people how to date, and his biggest relationship was 6 months. Yeah, because I'm actually kind of looking for something really particular. And I know that this particular person exists because I meet some really cool people. And I know that my time is valuable. So if I'm going to give myself to somebody in a relationship, I'm going to make sure that it's somebody that I actually truly want to be with. And I'm going to go meet people every single day and talk to people and create my own rules. So what do your own rules look like? And that's what I want you to think about. What are your own rules? Are you going to play off for what everybody else wants you to play off? Are you going to be this neurotic mess that can't make decisions? Or are you finally going to figure out who you are? I was working with a woman client of mine tonight, and I told her, you can interview anybody you want. Imagine this, and I'm going to tell all of you this. If you talked to one person a day, 365 people a year, you didn't take off holidays at all, you were like 7-11, and you were open 365 days a year. If you talked to one person a day, gave out your phone number, or asked for a phone number half the time, what is that, 365? That's 182 and a half people. The half person is confused. They're not sure if they're gay or straight. So you always got to figure there's a half person out there somewhere. They're just not quite sure what side they want to be on. So let's figure there's 182 people. Out of those people, you've given your phone number, or you asked for the phone number. You got to figure in the flakiness and the bigger, better deal mentality that we're in right now, maybe half of those 182 and a half. So what would that be? If I do my math, that's 91 3/4 of those people, because now the person who was half confused that it was either gay or straight, or she was gay or bi, or whatever it might be, is now 3/4 leaning towards one way or another. Out of those 91 3/4 people, how many of those people do you think you actually can get along with? Can you imagine if you had 91 3/4 people that actually responded to you? You don't think you can find your one person in there? You don't think you can find the relationship that you want? And I'm not talking about swiping. I'm talking about using the world's greatest playground, planet Earth, to meet people. And for those of you that just want to continue to hide behind swiping, what if? What if you actually exchanged numbers with one person a day on the dating apps and actually met a few people per week? So let's say you met 2 people per week. That's 104 people a year. You don't think you're going to find a relationship with those statistics? Now, for those of you that say you don't have the time to date, well, if you don't have the time to date, how the fuck are you going to mate? How are you going to meet somebody you need to be with if you don't put the time in? You can't go and make a lot of money by doing it part-time, even though there's a lot of business opportunities out there that promise you riches for basically doing nothing, because if everybody can get rich doing nothing, then everybody would do nothing. Why not get rewarded for doing nothing? Nothing is great. I want to sit around and do absolutely nothing. I want to sit and scratch my balls all day long and do absolutely nothing but get paid $1 million a year. Sign me the fuck up for that. Sign me up. Because doing nothing sounds fantastic. Let me do that. And that's what a lot of people are doing in their dating life. They're literally sitting there and signing up on internet sites and never following through. The key to life is following through. So if you truly want to meet somebody, then I strongly suggest you actually follow through and you actually commit to it. Because if you don't make the time is never going to be given to you. And if you don't make the time, you're not going to be able to find love or a great relationship. I'm being blunt. You can Google it all you want. You can find out the best ways to talk to men or women. You can find out the best best ways to date, but if you're not out there dating and not out there mating, nothing is going to change for you. A lot of people will say when I do a podcast like this and I'm full of angry energy, they say I'm full of angry. Why is he so pissed off? I'm not pissed off at all. I'm passionate because, to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck how you live your life. Honestly, I don't fucking care if you ever listen to me. I don't care if you don't listen to what I'm saying. I don't care if you ever meet somebody. I don't know you. But what I do care is when I hear you bitch and complain about it, I know you're not doing the things you need to do. And I do care because one of you might be somebody I'm supposed to meet, and by you not doing anything about it, you're fucking up the flow of this romantic energy and this romantic synergy we're supposed to be having, this dance we're supposed to be having, but you're not believing in this principle that if you actually go and actually engage in people on a daily basis, you and I can finally meet. So I do care in a way. Maybe it's a selfish way. Anyway, today's reality is that if you fucking want it bad enough, you're going to put the time in because nobody gets paid for part-time shit in this world. Nobody. You can have 16 part-time jobs and it still doesn't equal one full-time job. So get off your ass and start meeting people. Otherwise, when you go over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house on Thursday night, she's going to wonder why the fuck you're showing up alone again. Your sister just got engaged, your brother just had a kid, and there you are showing up single again. And another year have passed by that you didn't do the things you needed to do. Get off your ass and go meet somebody. That's the reality of today.